ready for the Tai Chi session? So Tai Chi today, we're going to do a short one, and I'm going to give you breathing spaces where you can decide whether you want to carry on or not. Now somehow, Innovate people, I have to get across to my spot. Bear with me. Okay, now we're ready to do some breathing and calm down. So we're going to hold our tummies at the bottom there and feel the breath going in and out, moving our tummies a little bit, moving our hands will move a little bit when we breathe. That's calmed me down now, that's better. Now I'm going to step out a little bit, just about this much, and I'm going to pretend I've got a small ball, like a tennis ball, and I'm going to start moving that around. You can move it into different positions, turn it round. If it was a real ball, I would have dropped it, wouldn't I? But it's not. Just imagining this tennis ball and moving it around. Okay, and then hold it there and make it a little bit bigger. And let's roll this slightly bigger ball around. As we're doing this, just gentle breathing. And this is warming up our wrists and our elbows. And our imaginations. So you can copy me, or you can do your own movements as long as it looks and feels like you've got a ball in your hands. And now we're going to make it a bit bigger. So the top hand is going up to nearly your chin, the bottom hand is going down to the bottom of your belly. It's quite a big one now, isn't it? It's quite hard. Now we're moving that ball around. So as you can see, that's made the range of our movement much bigger. How far we're moving, much further. And it's bringing in our elbows, our wrists, and our shoulders. So that's a nice different way to warm everything up, because we don't want to do the same exercises every time. So it's nice to do something different. Okay. Speaking of something different, now we're going to do something. I've written it down, called Rhino. Looks at the moon. So you've got to imagine you've got a long tusk like a rhino. I don't know why either. And you're going to look down, then over that way, back down, and the other way. And this is warming up the neck. Like I said in the last video I made, if something feels nice, you can keep doing it for a bit longer, or doing it again later. I always think that this movement feels very nice. And then we can, if you're comfortable, take it back as well. And a rhino can't do this. So this is not rhino looking back at the moon anymore. As I'm doing that, I can feel my shoulders coming up. Let's bring them up. Breathe in, and then drop them. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. That one helps me to remember to relax my shoulders. It's very important to relax your shoulders during Tai Chi, and your knees. So your knees should always be a tiny, tiny bit bent. Not locked straight like I had them then. No, a little tiny bit bent. Now we're going to do a new movement. We haven't done this in any of our classes. It's called pick the fruit. So we're going to start one hand on our tummies and one hand behind. Then the one that's behind is going to reach up, pick some fruit, take it back, put it in the basket. Then the other hand is going to go up, pick some fruit, and come down and put it in the basket. And this hand comes forward. So you have to imagine somebody carrying a big basket on their back, and that's where they're putting the fruit. I hope that makes sense. So this hand's going up, breathe in, pick the fruit, come around, breathing out, and put it in the basket. This one comes to the front, breathe in, pick the fruit, around behind you, put it in the basket. This one comes to the front, breathing in, reach up, pick the fruit, and around behind you in the basket. I'm hitting the fuchsia bush again. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one. I didn't do it right that time, so I'm going to have to do it again. Pick the fruit, and the hand comes round behind you, and then puts it in the basket. Do it again, because I didn't do it right. Pick the fruit, breathe out and round. I know why it is. I got that wrong. This shoulder's a little bit sore, and so it's saying, oh, go the short way, Catherine, don't go the long way. The long way is this way, but that will do my shoulder good. So that's plucking the fruit, a new one. You would have done this one before, but we haven't called it this. We're going to call this one Lotus Flowing in the Wind. So this is to exercise your hips. And you're going to make a little circle with your hips. You see, I've got my hands on my hips. I'm making a little circle with your hips and loosen them up. And then the other way. Circle those hips. And then a bit bigger the other way. And if you feel the top of your body going backwards and forwards, that's fine. You can do that. And this is another nice one. And the other way, you can feel it easing out your lower back when you do this one. It feels nice on those muscles at the back there. I quite like it anyway. It's a bit chilly today, so I've got my cardi on. But Tai Chi is great for warming you up. I don't need that anymore. I'll hang it on the back of the chair. Well, I've got this chair there to remind you that if you need to, you can have a chair ready for if you don't feel steady. So you can do some of these exercises, holding onto the chair, and then when you want to exercise the other side, you just turn round and exercise the other side. Did you hear me? And exercise the other side. So that's there to remind me to tell you that if you're wobbly and you're feeling weak today, it's fine to use the back of a chair. This is a nice solid one, so that's why I chose it. Next we're going to do pushing the stone tablet. Okay, written them on my hand, I can't remember them all otherwise. So hands up to your chest. This one's going to stay in place, and this one's going to push something very heavy out of the way, and then it's going to come back, and it's this one's turn. Push the stone tablet and push, breathing out, come back, breathing in, breathe out, in, and this is not a tablet like you get from the doctors. This is an old-fashioned tablet, and they were great. They didn't eat them. They used to have things written on them, and they were big stones with writing on them. So it's like a heavy thing that you're pushing. You're already warmed up, but I always think it's nice to do a bit of marrow washing anyway, so let's do that. So we're patting quite firmly on all those muscles we've been using. All the way down to the hand and all the way back up to the shoulder. And this one, And if it feels a bit sore in a place, you can stay in that place for a bit. If you feel any sore bits, and you can give them a little bit of extra attention. Patting up and down the legs at the front, at the side, and at the back. Then take your hand over and just pull this shoulder muscle here, this long one that goes from your neck down to your shoulder. Give it a bit of a pull and a bit of a rub. And the other one. Keep those muscles nice and relaxed and relaxed. And we're going to do a bit of breathing now. Breathing on the up as you come up and down as you go down. Breathing in and out. One more. In and out. Now remember I said that I was going to put a breathing space in. So this is one of those breathing spaces. This is where you stop and you just think, how does my body feel? Are my shoulders relaxed? Are my knees bent? Is my back fairly straight? Do I want to carry on with Tai Chi? Or do I want to stop now and come back later? You know your body, you know how you feel, so you can decide. Okay.